Hello! I just got done with a little supplemental. I'm sure you saw it in the playlist if you're following this real close. Check it out. I figure we'll do some of the backstory stuff and all that extra on some side videos, so if you don't like that, you just want the action and suspense of mystery archaeological stuff going on, you can just check that out too. So I think finally figured out how to get to these dipping birds. Otherwise, we're going to stick with this, the main line here, and just go with the main story, or the main actions of the story. I think you have to go around the end to get to the dipping birds. Yep, check it out.
Did you win that by flicking the dime in the dish?
Yeah. My grandma actually had one of these, and the thing is, she had it for so long, and she used well water.
Has that thing ever fooled anyone?
That it ended up getting really, really crusty with minerals and things. Whatever. So we are off. We've got the first mission location, just the way he says it, the mission locations, taken care of. Well, we've got all of them to go to. So we've got the first one done. Let's check out the second one, which is going to be Chateau Gaillard. So, throughout his reign as King of England, Richard I battled with Philippe Augustus to maintain, I can't pronounce any of these, and given rule over territories in northern France. To oversee and defend many of these territories, Richard the Lionheart quickly erected Chateau Gaillard in the Les Andelys, mountains of Normandy. For years, Philip sought to restore the state of his empire. I'm pretty sure it's Philip, not Philippe. After Richard's death, he got his chance. Having been financially crippled by Richard's exploits, England could do little to hold him off. Territory after territory was retaken by Philip. Though it was thought to be impregnable, the chateau capitulated to the French on the 6th of March, 1204, after a brief 6-month siege. A failed relief effort by King John is thought to have played a role in the fall of the castle. However, exactly why it succumbed so quickly is still a matter of some controversy. You are to travel to the chateau to witness the final day of the siege and to document how Philip's troops gained entry into the castle. But warning, there will be a human presence in this environment. Gather footage from a safe distance and avoid being seen. Your destination coordinates have been scanned and cleared. Now remember from the notes, it looks like we should be jumping in right next to somebody, but it should be okay. So let's take a look and see what happens. Just shoot. Well, that takes care of that. So they were kind of right. The notes were right, I guess. Got this arrow we're going to grab. The thing about this game, too, is so it actually is a gig, which is huge because my hard drive was 500 megs. The entire hard drive was 500 megs at the time. And so you had to flip out CDs. You had to swap them, which I thought was really cool at the time. So each section was like its own CD.
That big wooden thing over there is a siege tower. Philip Augustus terrorized the defenders by surrounding the castle with 14 of these. They're pretty handy for being able to shoot over the wall of a castle, but they did have one minor drawback. Can you say flammable? If someone should get a glimpse of us up here, in this suit we might pass as a knight, but I think we should be careful not to be seen.
Right. We're probably a knight, is what people are going to think, so that's good.
Those boulders were dropped on any Nimrod trying to climb the walls.
Nimrod. So if you listen to Green Day, don't try and climb these walls.
The wooden roofs were covered with tin, I think to prevent being set ablaze by flaming arrows.
Makes sense. You get these nice little tidbits from Arthur, which I love. Like I said, it makes it feel like you're not just playing the game alone when you're playing this. It's really cool. So we're going to go all the way down. Like Mom. I'm also going to save. Anybody else see that coming? But I was going to save, because I am. We'll go with Castle 01. So it said there's a human presence down here, but I think we're okay. I want to say we're okay if we walk ahead yet. Yeah. Let's get out of here. So there are 2 different stops here. Let's go to, let's see. That one has got this area. Go back up to Arthur again, because I like having him here.
It's kind of interesting how they use the more finished stone on the outside of the walls to make the castle look more imposing, and use the rough stone on the inside. The space in between was generally filled with rubble and, oh, I don't know, annoying singing frogs and metal boxes.
You know, that's such a weird frickin' cartoon where he's like stuck in the cornerstone.
Sounds locked to me.
Keystone, whatever it is. No, keystone is for an arch, right? Okay, we've got this. I want to go back and look, because I don't know if we missed one. I just want to make sure we didn't. I think we go back up to the top of the tower here. Yeah. There's nothing else up here. We're going to go back down into the tower. And we'll just go right here. The left, of course, was locked. The right one brings us out here.
These wooden hoardings here, they were put up for defense before a siege to protect archers, and get this, allow the soldiers to drop big, heavy, painful things on the attackers below. Charming, isn't it?
It is charming.
This castle really was the jewel in King Richard's crown. He once wrote about Chateau Gaillard. How beautiful is my hero daughter. When Philip Augustus had said that he would take this castle though its walls are made of iron, King Richard retorted that he would hold it if its walls were made of butter. Then King John the Soft Sword took over. When Philip was done with this place, you could pour it on your popcorn.
Well, I think he says something
I
like
hope
this.
the serfs have umbrellas. Ah, the classic garderobe. Simplicity at its finest. When Philip Augustus heard about Richard's death in 1199, he set about retaking Normandy. And within 3 years, in October of 1203, he was knocking on Chateau Gaillard's door with a formidable army. John answered the door with 300 knights, 3,000 horsemen, and 4,000 foot soldiers and assorted ruffians, who tried to surprise Philip's army with a night attack. Big mistake. He wasn't counting on the new cohesion and confidence of Philip's army in the light of Richard's death. They were slaughtered. So a clever French knight figures out that he and a few men can get into the castle by climbing up through a toilet. So right now they must be fighting it out at the main gate. By now there will only be about 60 English soldiers remaining anyway. No wonder this place seems deserted.
What kind of aim would you have to get a grappling hook up through a toilet? Well, there's a dude. That's really all there is over here. No, wait, hey.
These holes in the walls, or they call them arrow loops, were designed to protect archers while still giving them a wide angle of aim.
Cool. I build those into my Lego castles. But that is a really cool looking castle. It reminds me, of course, of Stronghold and that sort of way that you can do it.
Ah, see that bridge to the inner bailey? This was the castle's one weakness. Under cover of the bridge, Philip Augustus's men managed to dig under the wall and collapse a section of it in what they called let me look it up, a sapping operation. When an attacker would sap a wall of a castle, they would dig a tunnel underneath the foundation supported by a wooden framework. They would then set fire to the wooden beams, and the tunnel would collapse under the wall, bringing it down.
Didn't think you were going to learn about sapping and undermining, did ya? But here we are. That's right, I'm making you learn something. Right here on the Zach Show, Monica Fox coming at you. You know what's funny? Speaking of Monica Fox, obviously I haven't done a video for a while for various reasons, but I did go and see a live signing stream thing for the voice of Jane from Daria, and she called me Monkey Fox instead of Monica Fox. So that was kind of funny.
You tiny-brained wipers of other people's bottoms, I fart in your general direction. Your mother was a hamster, and your father smelled somebody.
Sorry, I always wanted to say that.
If anybody's wondering, too, I have tried to look at the audio settings. You can't change them. The voice is just where it is.
So this is what a real siege looks like. Not a lot like what you see on the holofilms. Not a lot of action. Most of it was just bringing an army, surrounding a castle to prevent defenders from getting supplies, and then waiting around until they either starved or surrendered. In the meantime, they built towers and assault engines, readying for when the defenders were softened up enough to attack. Anyone for bloodshed?
If you've ever played AoE 2 as the Britons, you know exactly what a war of attrition is like. Well, at least as far as a video game goes.
You want to know what made this castle such a unique piece of military architecture? King Richard's design for the keep and inner bailey. Look, see those rib-like structures ringing the top of the keep? They were designed to funnel drop projectiles down to the skirt-like plinth at the bottom, which bounced the stones in kind of a fan-shaped trajectory. This way, there was nowhere that the attackers could approach the castle without being vulnerable.
Built things like that into my Lego castles still, as I said. I really should try and find some more pictures of those, because I've
Seem to
made...
be getting closer to where that catapult is hitting, and I'd be willing to bet their aim isn't getting worse.
about 4 or 5 iterations of it. There's a person over there. It's a good thing he can't see us. Maybe I'll think about walking over there. Maybe I won't.
Missed me by that much.
There was a glitch with this game originally, or not. I don't know what actually caused it, but with the original game I had, the hard copy, that trigger never happened unless you walked in front of it, and then you always got blasted. It was like kind of a 1 in 4 chance that you would make it the way it's supposed to be. But I like this music. I like this area really well. Like, the music and stuff is just really cool. But since you know you can't be seen, it also adds an extra bit of, I don't know, suspense and things to this.
Yes, the incredible sharpening wheel, the latest in lightweight stone technology. It spins, it sparks, it sharpens your knives. It's absolutely free with your 6-piece set of Ginsu broadswords.
I love my Ginsu broadsword. Oh my gosh, it's so amazing. Call right now for a little price of $29.95 and only 10,000 payments of $1, and it can be yours too. The 10,000 payments of $1 is, of course, an addendum to the regular price, which is something you're going to want. It's like saying addendum today. Yeah. We're going to not fuck with that guy, are we? No. No, Fox. No, we're not. Got stuff over here. Let's keep wandering around, shall we?
Hey, now there's a nasty-looking rig. The blacksmith would use something like that to hold cows and horses still for shoeing. No doubt some of them enjoyed it, too. I mean, still, there's nothing more disturbing than a cow into bondage.
I agree. Well...
This is an old wood-burning forge, which blacksmiths at the time used to heat up and soften raw iron, which they would then hammer to create rod or forged tools and weapons. This fire can only get up to about 1,300 degrees Celsius. Stop me if I'm getting too technical. So they would be limited to casting softer metals such as bronze, copper, or gold.
Pumping the bellows draws air through the coals, stoking the fire. Try it, you weakling.
Try it, you weakling. Come on, baby, stoke my fire. Oh, what is this? Look at that.
Well, it's obviously a mold for a key. But why would he have hidden it under a brick?
I don't know. But not really a whole lot else to do at the smithy, so we're gonna head out. But before we do, we're taking the hammer. Now that night should have passed.
Buildings in this time were built of a half-timber framework with gaps filled with wattle and daub. God, I hate Englishmen. Anyway, basically a mat of woven reeds covered with mud and clay.
Cool. Kind of walk around a little bit more here. That's actually how they fought. You can tell. I think if you... Yep. Just runs him like, alright. Man, I spent so many hours playing this game because no internet, so it was like, well, I'm just gonna figure out how to do it. Temporal anachronism. Is there? Let's check that out. Oh, let's see. There we go. Look at this. That's interesting, huh? There's a footprint. Pretty sure a knight didn't make that.
That's either a very dirty moat or a very clean sewer. Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair.
Let down your hair. Alright, I know we want to keep going further around into this and stuff and go jump in the moat, but actually we are going to head back. Well, not even go back, we're going to go to a different spot. And that spot is going to be the Da Vinci Studio. Please tell me anybody who's watching this has seen that stupid video of those two guys where it's like, Da Vinci? Da Vinci, of course. Let's read this. Hop on over there. So the Da Vinci Studio. Historical records allow us to trace the entire life of Leonardo da Vinci, with the exception of the years between 1482 and 1489. All that is known about this period of his life is that he was working as the military architect and engineer of Duke Ludovico Sforza of Milan. Probably how he said it too. As this was during the war against the Venetian Republic, it is assumed that he built many new types of military devices, but few plans for such have ever been recovered. You are to travel to his secret workshop to document these unknown projects. As you will be arriving in the middle of the night, the studio will be vacant. Your destination coordinates have been scanned and cleared. Now, I don't think we had anything with this one from the notes. Not that I remembered. So we should be pretty cool. But let's get in here and start getting a start on what's going on. Yeah, Da Vinci's world. This is kind of what this game is. I mean, like, you just do a lot of back and forth as far as rolling around between the different mission locations.
So is this real? Are we really in Leonardo's studio?
It certainly looks like it.
Da Vinci really was a master of contraptions. It looks like when the Duke of Milan allowed him to build this place, he got a chance to field test a lot of his ideas. I hope this wasn't to try out his parachute designs.
I don't believe his parachute designs were so great. And yes, you can walk straight down there, and no, I will not be doing that. We're going to explore around a little bit. Take a look. But I think this is just so cool because it's a tower with a bunch of stuff, you know, and it's a face. And that's cool. Okay, I thought that was a different spot, so I'm going to go over to his desk. Pilfer his things. Get these bottles. They're flasks of oil, like an Ultimate 8. I don't know. You don't know either. Got some paintings. He just does paintings up here. What we got over here?
This is Leonardo's portrait of a musician. This is supposed to be a friend of his, Atlante Migliorotti, whom he traveled to Milan with, but historians were never sure. I suppose if we waited until morning we could find out for certain, but well, I guess we could save that for the next trip. I wonder if Leonardo realizes he'll never finish this piece. If records are correct, he's been working on it for, what are we in, 1488? About 3 years now. Another 2 to go before he gives up on it for some reason. I wonder why. They have some falling out? You know, we could jump a couple of years forward and... Okay, sorry. Wrong time.
So there's supposed to be something going on here. Yeah, with the immediate vicinity. But what? What could it be? I don't see anything, actually. And it's over here. Nope, we'll have to save it for next time. So we'll see you back in Da Vinci's cool little house place thing on the next episode.